welcome back to Parking Lot Chats with Corn
and Bo.
So, still on our Diddy shit, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be an ongoing conversation.
Like every week we're just going to have something to add to it until...
I mean, he's going to take half the fucking entertainment industry down with him, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So first off, I just want to talk about this post from Kim Porter's children. They're claiming that the book is fake.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I believe that. I see why they would want to say that. They're still his children as well, and I'm sure they're like brainwashed by him.
Correct. And I'm sure they want to believe that.
Right, but honestly, there was I mean, I haven't read it, so we saw... okay, so yeah, you go.
Well, no, because I don't know, there was two different ones, and I had ordered one that had her as the author. It said, like, someone and Kim Porter, and when I got it, I haven't even read it yet, because when I got it, it literally looks... So you know how... Amazon, you can upload something to it and it prints it as a book, like anybody can do that.
Yeah, I do it.
That's what it is. And it's very not well done. Like the cover, the picture they used for the cover photo the scale is terrible. And then inside it's just like, literally looks like a book report done by a child in middle school, where you had to like type it up on a computer and like...
Did you think you might the wrong one?
Yeah, because then people were telling me that there was this other one that is the one that everyone's been reading on TikTok, and it looks completely different, but it doesn't have her as the author. So and I swore the one that I got was the one that like I saw someone share, but now they're both gone.
I bet they are.
Yeah,
I bet they fucking are.
Now you can't buy either one of them. Like I can't even, like, when I go into my orders and click it like says, "Oops," the little dog shows up. Something's gone wrong. So I don't know. So I haven't read it yet. I guess I could. I don't know if they're the same, but one, like, I thought I was buying the right one because it had her as an author. And from my understanding, this was something that she wrote, but then somebody else released, right?
Right. And like, the one that you had sent me the video and it was like a girl reading it, like the timeline was kind of weird and wonky, but that doesn't mean that she wasn't like keeping notes and someone found the notes in the computer afterwards and put it together. You know what I mean?
So I don't know.
Like,
Maybe I should actually read it.
Read it and see what you think, at least.
And see what I
think.
Know? Yeah. But I'm like, didn't want to waste my time on something that might not be real.
Right,
and like read something and then like believe it is true and it's not. You know what I mean?
Right. Now you're an internet asshole.
Right. So I haven't even, like, I opened the package and I was like, what the heck? This is like a book report.
The girl that was reading it that you sent, though, on TikTok, it's fun sometimes being old, right? Because these people are just too young to be getting involved.
Idea who some people were, yeah.
Well, and she was like, what does J-Lo have to do with Diddy? Girl,
right.
What?
Why are you reading this if you don't even know?
And then she was like, I don't even know. I've never heard of Shine in my life. What do you mean? What do you mean? He took the fall. She was like, Diddy went to court for having a gun in a club. What do you mean? Yeah. This isn't news.
But she said that she must have just missed that. So she actually was, I think, older. She just wasn't paying attention to pop culture back then, I think.
Was she, or did she not realize how old this article was?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like, I missed it. And it's like, or were you not born yet?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Sometimes these younger people look older than us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they don't realize, like, how long ago things happened.
Right, you know? And then, okay, so Eminem was talking on his new record about this before Diddy got arrested, so that's always fun. Yeah. He's always ahead of the game.
I saw that. And FYI, there's one floating around that supposedly is Bieber talking about how he, like, did it for the Ferrari or something like that, but it's AI. It's fake. There's, like, this fake song with Bieber's voice going around that everyone's like, oh, Bieber, and it was never actually sang. But the Eminem one
is real.
Yeah.
Of course it is Eminem.
Right.
It wouldn't be Eminem if he didn't.
Right.
Meek Mill hired an investigative team for her association with Diddy, and then this guy that I follow that does these funny little videos went through all of these things of Meek Mill and Diddy being best friends and was like, there's your investigation. You want to pay me?
Yeah.
I'll put that in the story.
I actually saw that. I don't know if you sent it to me or if it came up on my For You, but I saw that.
Suge Knight was speaking on the situation from fucking prison, and it's like, what are you?
What?
You? He said, what? Why are we still letting him talk? If anything, he is involved in probably a perpetrator in whatever the fuck Diddy was up to. Let's be real. Let's be real, Suge Knight. Keep your mouth shut before you get in more trouble. New York Mayor Eric Adams.
Yeah. We haven't heard, right? They haven't come out and said that what he was indicted for, right? It just says that he was...
No, I think that I heard, and I don't know if this was actually posted or if it was just something I heard, but it was like corruption and racketeering.
Yeah.
And so,
right.
Guess who else also has the same charges?
Right. And just right after, it seems really, the timing seems sus.
And, you just gave him the key to the city last year, so...
Yeah.
And, like, we know y'all are friends.
But then Sabrina Carpenter, supposedly last night on our concert, well, I guess it's not supposedly, like, this video of her saying it, was like, so do we want to talk about how I got the mayor of New York City indicted?
Oh.
Right.
What did she do?
So from my understanding, obviously I didn't really fully research this, but this was just the TikTok video I was watching. It said that she recorded some video in a church in New York, and something happened legally there. Like,
I remember that.
Why she was recording the video in the church, they started to look into the church, and then I guess she believes that, like, them looking into the church led them to the mayor. So I don't know.
Yes, we're back on our RICO charges. That's why I posted that thing, because I thought that, like, maybe a lot of people didn't know what it meant, and it didn't go. But basically, it was a bill that they passed when, like, crime was crazy in New York City, so that if you have these multiple little criminal enterprises going along that could be connected, they can research you further, investigate you further to connect the dots, because you're probably running a fucking scheme.
Right.
And so that sounds related.
Right.
The Game confirms that Diddy was attempting to set up Drake to be killed in L.A.
That's fucked up.
Yep. And then this one has been... the Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. So people were saying that Mila Kunis left and was separating herself because she was afraid of Ashton Kutcher's involvement with Diddy. But then other people are saying that that's absolutely not true. So I feel like I've seen back and forth, and I don't know.
And there was, like, pictures of them together, which doesn't mean they're not separating. Like, when you're married, you're obviously going to be spotted with each other during your separation while you try to figure your life out.
Right.
So that doesn't mean that, like, they were, like, sitting in a car. And so people are like, they're not separating, they're together in a car. Oh, it doesn't mean they're not, but it doesn't mean they are. I don't know.
This is a complete squirrel, because I didn't say it to you or here, I think, but I did say it to my cousin. So after we had talked about Jen and Ben, and then, like, after she filed for divorce, there was, like, pictures of them, like, holding hands and kissing.
Yeah. And
this girl was like, low key, this is my favorite kind of relationship. Can you imagine how annoyed their friends are right now? It's like, oh, you toxic bitch, I love it.
Yeah, they go back and forth. That's constant. Like, what do you wonder is, like, if they literally just do it to fuck with people? Like, all of it. Like, did they ever really file for divorce, or are they just doing it?
I think they're just a couple of really fucking toxic people.
Yeah.
And I like watching it. Kanye.
Gotcha.
Oh. Here's the thing. Kanye is mentally ill, obviously. But sometimes I think he does have some points. And, like, sometimes he says some crazy shit, and then it turns out to be true. So, like...
Right.
I don't know what Kanye sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, this was what I watched. Impact times NTL. And basically they did just say freak off a whole bunch of times. I have some notes on that. It was on Hulu. It was Nightline. That's what NTL means. Times Impact. I don't know what the fuck that is. Brands.
Yeah.
Media brands.
So they got together and did some documentary on Diddy?
Yeah, and allegations. So basically it was... Okay, we'll go over there real quick because I got these other notes. So it was basically like all of the news articles that we've seen, but like a slightly deeper dive, and like reporters just repeating freak off 1,000 fucking times.
I just read that Diddy got a new legal team and he's going to attempt to go for bail again.
Nice.
Like, what are you going to offer this time? What did he offer the first time? The $50 million and no women in his house?
Yeah. They're like, well, you like the boys anyway.
Yeah. Like, what are you going to offer this time? $100 million? That's half your friggin' what you're worth. to just be charged, right?
Right.
Eventually, I mean, I don't know. There's still a trial, so he could still be found not guilty. But from my understanding is that,
Or is he trying to get out to, like, hide things so it doesn't give? You know what I mean? Do you
I
need
mean,
to,
he's
like,
got
get it?
guys for that, right? I'm sure he had some sort
right?
of plan in place.
I'm sure. You know it, you're right. I don't think they're going to let him out.
Yeah, me neither. But we'll see. I wonder who the legal team is. Casey Anthony's?
You know what? My cousin told me that she watched a documentary on Casey Anthony, and there was another one that she watched. Oh, the Menendez brothers. I want to watch that one.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet. I don't know. I read like just a synopsis because I know that was a long time, right? But that was before us. Like,
No, we were my mom was like following it, so I remember it pretty vividly.
Remember it.
But like my mom was into that shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? She was the one that had all these magazines and stuff.
So
and,
I just read like a quick thing where it just kind of like detailed the abuse that they went through, and I was like, what? Like, I didn't know what to expect. What the fuck?
And that's what my mom always said. She was like, them kids didn't just murder their parents. Them kids were self-defense. My mom was like always on their side. My mom was always on their side. So I'm interested in the documentary. But my cousin said that, because she told me about that, and I was like, yeah, I want to watch that. And then she was like, in Casey Anthony, and I was like, and then she was like, no, watch it. She was like, I didn't think that I would ever not think that she was a murderous ass bitch. She didn't say that because she don't talk like that, but whatever. But she said, you know what? I don't know. That dad's kind of creepy. So I don't know. I might have to watch that one too.
What?
That's what my cousin said.
I don't know, man.
I'll tell you which cousin later.
Hard for me to believe that.
That's what I said. And then I was like, you know what? I'll watch it. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Her dad was a little creepy.
So why didn't they ever go after... Oh, he was a cop.
Mm-hmm. Yep, right. Was Casey Anthony innocent this whole time? I don't know. Don't say this stuff, down in Palm Beach because people will fight you. Okay. These were my thoughts on the Diddy thing. First of all, I thought, you know what? This is why Mace left the industry to become a priest. He was up and coming with Diddy, and then he was like, look at what you're doing. Remember?
No, I don't remember that.
Mace was like, he was like Diddy's like rap partner. Like when they first got popular, it was like Diddy and Mace.
Yeah, I don't remember him leaving to become a priest, though.
He stopped becoming hip-hop to be a priest. Let me see if he's still in the priest. Is Mace still a priest?
Y'all need to be saved.
He did.
I'm going to save myself first.
And I remember always thinking, that's so weird that you went from like hip-hop to be a priest. But now like that I'm seeing all this Diddy stuff, I'm like, you know what? I literally was watching like the beginning of it, and I was like, this is why Mace decided to be a priest. Is Mace still a priest?
Wait, it's the first thing. Pastor. All you had to say is Mace.
Yeah.
And it came up.
He probably is, because...
No, 2 days ago, too. Oh, no, that's something else.
Oh, that's something else. I was watching that.
Oh, whoops. Hello.
2022.
Oh, that's a lot.
Oh, yeah, he's been married for over 20 years. They still have 5 children. The reason he's not active in the music industry like he used to is because he's focusing on his family and their church. And because it turned out that Diddy was scary. And that was his friend and mentor. Yeah, so that was my first thought. No wonder Mace is a priest. The Cassie lawsuit broke everything open.
Yes. Even though it settled, too.
Right. But because of that, that's how they started to look into things. That's how they brought Rico into it, blah, blah, blah. Here we are. Cassie's friend and producer said, well, there's nothing you can do because he's friends with all the politicians. And so far, there have been at least 11 lawsuits after Cassie's. After Cassie's, at least 11 other people have came forward.
I saw somewhere
and that's
it was
just
like
now,
50
so far.
plus people.
I bet. Because that was at the time of them fucking filming this, which had to have been a week ago.
Yeah.
Because it came out last week.
Where did I read that? I read it somewhere. It was like 50 plus people have come forward. It might have been Perez. Oh, yeah. 50 plus victims joined together to go after Diddy in court. Minors as well. And that was Perez Hilton posting that. Just like yesterday, I think. I hate when TikTok doesn't tell you, why doesn't TikTok give you a day?
I know, that's so annoying.
Fucking posted. I have to go, what I do is go to the comments to see when people started commenting on it to see how relevant it is. It's annoying. TikTok should give a date down there.
Right. Date, right? Instagram will be like,
so 2 days ago, I think it was 3 days ago. He said that there's up to 50 people. You know what?
That makes sense, because if there was
and counting
plus 11 at the time of filming that, I wouldn't be surprised if it's, especially once he was actually behind bars, they probably feel a lot, you know what I mean? I personally would feel a lot safer. coming
Right.
out now that he's behind bars. Meek Mill again. Meek Mill is wondering why all these CEOs are stepping down. Warner Music Japan president and CEO has resigned, along with CEO of 300 Entertainment and CEO of Sony Music Nashville. And we know what, a million others. So
Yeah.
all these like heavy hitters are stepping down. Why? Because they're in Diddy's paperwork.
I ever feel like Nashville is like very quiet?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like that? Like there's not a lot of like country music, not drama, like scandals.
Yeah, not as many.
Yeah, why? Because you know they're out there.
Right,
You know they're doing it. So how do they keep it so quiet? Because they're
Burying
not.
bitches in the mines. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe because the paparazzi's not in Nashville like they're in. Like it's just not. I don't know. I just feel like there's not a lot of like country music scandals.
And you know what? You're probably right. I think that probably country music isn't as mainstream as, I mean, it's becoming more mainstream now. I feel like now I'm always so surprised by like cousins that like when we were younger be like, oh my God, you live in Florida and listen to country music. And now they're like, hey, I'm going to the Jason Aldean concert. You know what I mean? And it's like, where were what?
Yeah.
Because it's cool now.
Right.
But Big Green Tractor wasn't cool. That was a jam. Costco tells TMZ that they don't even sell baby oil.
Yeah, because the lawyer got on the fucking TV and said they were asked about the fucking baby oil, and the lawyer's like, well, I don't know, there's a Costco down the road from him. And then Costco came out and was like, we don't even fucking sell baby oil, so no.
I love it. And then her caption was, Costco said, y'all are not about to drag us into this.
I don't know, there's a Costco down the road. 1,000 bottles of baby oil? Well, now you know that people are speculating that it wasn't baby oil, but I feel like that would be in the indictment. Like, they're not just gonna, like, say, there's 1,000 bottles of baby oil and never actually make sure it's baby oil, right?
I feel like they have to in order to, like, say, like, in order to put that in your indictment, right? Like, wouldn't you have to, like, test it?
Yeah.
What do you think it is? Cum? It wouldn't look the same.
No, they were saying, like, GHB, like drugs.
Oh. I would think you'd have to test that.
Like, I would think that they would want to make sure that that was baby oil before they said it was. Like, because if it was drugs, that's a better...
It's a better charge. All right, it'd be better for them.
That's better for them, so...
No, I see what you're saying. That makes sense. What you're saying makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. If you could have charged them for drugs instead of baby oil, wouldn't you? Yeah, absolutely.
So, I don't know. And if they didn't test it, I feel like someone dropped the ball.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You're stupid. You could have got 1,000 more drug charges.
Yeah.
And, like, how much
well,
is
probably, like, it's
right.
probably, like, a drug to, like, a charge for each fucking...
For per ounce or something.
Yeah, I don't know how they try, like, how G, but...
Yeah, me neither.
Because that's, like, the date, right? That's, like, something that you just put in a fucking drink, right?
Yeah, I think so. Jaguar Wright, I don't know who that is, told us Diddy...
Jaguar Wright is the girl that's been talking this entire time.
Really?
You know who Jaguar Wright is, you just don't know.
Jaguar Wright told us that
that girl? No, that's Aaliyah.
No, but Jaguar Wright, she's all over TikTok outing all of them.
Is that the girl that you sent me?
No.
I don't think I know who that is.
She's been saying it for so fucking long, and everyone's wondering, like, how she knows all that she does, but she has been saying it for so long. How do I get...
I don't know. Show me a picture, though.
The one thing I can't stand is seeing these photos of Jay-Z.
This is the Aaliyah thing. So, I watched this the other day. Okay, so she told you.
Her.
You know what? She does look familiar.
She doesn't come up on your For You? Oh, she has so much to say.
No, but she is going to now. Here's the thing about TikTok. I really like TikTok, and I think that it's great.
That's Jaguar Wright. She
But
is all over
less
my
time
TikTok.
there than anywhere else, because it's like the last thing that I got into. You know what I mean? Like, I
TikTok
honestly
gets me. I don't actually know who she is, but she has so much to say and has been saying it for a while now. Well, I don't know. It's usually like interviews. Like
so she might not have her own page.
Yeah, I don't actually know if she has her own page.
Well, just keep saying these things on my phone so it'll show me when I do open it.
She comes up on my page, but she's been for a hot minute now, like prior to all this.
So did you see what she said about Aaliyah then?
Remind me. Refresh.
So when Aaliyah died in the plane crash, we all knew that she did not want to get on that plane. She
was drugged and she was carried on.
Yeah. And the pilot wasn't even supposed to be the pilot.
He was new. We talked.
He was new. Oh, we did talk about this.
He was new. I think so. He was new. It's okay. I mean, he was a new pilot, and he wasn't even supposed to be on there, but they got him to do it because the other pilot wasn't willing to fly
because they weren't supposed to be flying that plane.
Right.
Aaliyah. What about Rosie O'Donnell joking about Diddy being arrested in an unearthed TLC interview from, like, obviously the early 2000s?
Yeah.
Because Left Eye's in this picture.
Yeah.
When did she die?
I don't remember, but I saw this. And the faces they all gave.
Grammy nominees this year. Lauryn Hill's got 4, TLC's got 8, and Sean Combs 5 to 10.
Over here.
Oh.
No, the mic is over here. Yeah.
I
Sean
waited on her
Combs
once.
5 to 10 already.
Yeah, she was really nice. She came into the Fridays on South Beach, and I waited on her. And then that's Disney. And then your friend Kristen Cavallari broke up with her little boyfriend.
Yeah, she did. After 7 months, and everyone was like, shocker. I mean, they were like, huge age difference, which whatever works for people, but it just felt like she's like a mom with kids and he's like a party boy.
That's the thing is like,
and like she is party girl still. She's still a party girl, but
right.
like she's also a good mom. Like I'm gonna guess she's always protected her kids, so she never put her like mom life out there. So like what she shares is her like on vacation, what looks like just her on vacation with her gay hairdresser friend, but like really the kids are probably there or they're with their dad, like,
or right, she's got like a
she
nanny
just doesn't
with her.
like share her kids, so you never see her kids,
which is I feel like is great. Right. Let them have their privacy.
So I'm gonna I would never
that.
say that she's not a good mom. So to say that like a party boy was gonna be who she was gonna have a relationship with, we kind of all knew that wasn't gonna work. But a great rebound.
Right. I hope y'all had fun.
Yeah.
Again, she can fuck off because I'm still, Team LC all day. But get your young boy.
Yeah, I'm sure she had a fun 7 months. Time to move on.
Oh, I was just trying to see what it was. It was a Mean Girls Diddy joke.
So apparently Lana Del Rey actually married the fucking alligator farm guy. Alligator tour guide.
I love it.
Like, so random.
So random. And then tell us what Perez said.
Fuck, I don't remember.
Okay.
Oh, the sibling, and I mean the ex.
The ex-fiance.
Yeah, so the ex-fiance apparently came out and like had nothing but fucking amazing things to say about him.
And I didn't think that was where that video was going to go.
No.
And then Perez started crying, and then I started crying.
She's like, the ex-fiance that he had been with for like
12 years.
Yeah, 12 years. It was like, he's an amazing person. She's lucky. Like, he's a hardworking person. She's like, he deserves to get out of the swamp. Yeah, deserves the world, whatever. Like,
she said that he's in his comfort zone, and he's such like a good, hardworking man, and that like she's glad that he's like having to go to like outside of the swamp.
Yeah.
Enjoy the swamp too. Nothing wrong with being in the swamp if that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
But she thinks that it's good for him to get out.
That was cute. Like,
that was so cute.
That was very, very healthy of her.
Very healthy of her.
I saw that there's possible, people think Taylor Swift was at her wedding, which is why she wasn't at the Chiefs game. Everyone's like, oh my God, Taylor hasn't been at the Chiefs game. They must be broken up. And it's like, we do realize she's the biggest star in the, like,
you can say it.
In the fucking world right now.
Right.
She's not going to always be able to attend her boyfriend's football game.
Did you see this unhinged ass old man? He bought like a signed Taylor Swift guitar at an auction for like $3,000 and then ripped it apart.
That's
why? What is your problem?
Stupid.
What is your problem? What is wrong with
$3,000.
y'all? And that's all the comments were like, when I don't like an artist, I just don't listen to their music.
I just don't spend money on their signed guitars.
What an unhinged thing to do.
Yeah. What the fuck?
What a fucking weirdo. Silly. People are silly. All right. Do we got any more Diddy? I don't think I do. I think that was all I had. A lot of Meek Mill.
So. Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Well, we already moved on, but I just wanted to double check before we kept moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lana Del Rey thing was cute. And you know what? Good for them. Because, you know what? Matt Damon also married a normal-ass person, and he's been married for, like, ever now.
Yeah, that's their wedding. Whoops. I don't know if you can actually see it, but...
You can barely see it on the phone. It's
it's, like, definitely, like, a fucking weird drone, like, invasion of privacy video. That's how someone got a maybe snapshot of Taylor there, too. Which, I mean, they're friends, and I'm pretty sure Lana Del Rey opened at some point, like... She has random openers throughout her tour, so, like, I don't remember all of them, but I'm pretty sure.
I feel like it makes sense that they would be friends, right? I mean, they're pop stars, right? We're in the same circles, at least.
Yeah.
I have some stupid, annoying Dakota stuff, but I don't know that that's even worth it, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're for sure broken up.
Like
Yeah, that's officially that they're broken up.
And then I got this one where he looks like Ted Bundy. But, like, it really kind of does.
What was the one I sent you with, the Mormon wives? The other one, Jen's husband, that looks just like that weird polygamy guy. What was his name? The polygamist that had the show.
Oh, Brown. Cody Brown.
Yes.
Cody Brown. That
How
weird
much
motherfucker.
those two looked alike.
Yeah, you know that's probably his real dad.
And then they came out and said that someone did like the family tree and they're not related to Ben Affleck.
That's really fun.
Affleck.
You know what? So Perez Hilton was talking about how his family was coming and attacking Jen, but I couldn't find the post. Honestly, I didn't look that hard.
Yeah, I saw that too, that they were like attacking her.
Fuck off,
like,
guys.
No,
she's clearly the good guy.
Yeah.
And then I think I just sent, I didn't even send it because I was like, oh, okay, while we're on Mom Talk, did you hear about this? I don't know who he is. I just found out about him.
I know who he is from TikTok. The Chris Olsen, if you know him. He's like,
Did you hear what they said about him?
No. What?
He's been hanging out with Connor. Connor and him have been spotted canoodling.
Stop it.
That's how I got here. Let's get back to where I was.
Because he is, I mean, Chris Olsen is gay, openly gay.
But I kept seeing stuff like this, so then I kept, you know what I mean?
And then he did just, like, do some weird, like, marketing shit where he has, like, a fake account. Because he has, like, Chris Olsen and not Chris Olsen.
So he was going to take this off private for a minute to let people see. But...
And he put not Chris Olsen on private, so only if you're, like, his friend, can you see what he posts. I don't know. He's just very... He shows up to, like...
He got 5 million friends, you know what I mean?
He does. He shows up to, like, Harry Styles. When Harry Styles was on tour, he kept popping up. I think that's when I started seeing him, because he was, like, always at the tours.
Well, so TikTok is rumoring that he's been hanging out with, Connor from Tinder.
That's pretty fucking funny.
Obviously, it's Grindr.
Yeah, from Grindr. They did not find each other on Tinder.
Okay, so I sent...
I'm in complete utter shock over this Christopher Olsen situation. I opened my TikTok this morning and I was just taken aback. Because of all the people that it could have happened to...
But I feel like you still didn't explain...
I'm still sitting here trying to figure out how to comprehend it.
Well, yeah, because they don't... This is what they did. This was this weird marketing thing. So they all talked... All these, like, creators, like, did some... Like, would just talk about Chris Olsen and, oh my God, I can't believe. But then none of them would actually say what the fuck they were talking about. And then it was all on his private TikTok. And you couldn't go to his private TikTok unless you were his friend. And he wasn't accepting new friends. It was, like, this weird, like... marketing thing that he somehow orchestrated.
Some of them had pictures. I thought earlier I must have lost it because that one was just nonsense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why is it gone?
We've all seen Whitney's RSV video, but have you seen the video where she's talking whilst talking about her baby's jaundice?
It was before that.
No, I didn't see the jaundice one. Everyone talked about the RSV one.
2021, so a few years ago now, but here it is.
So weird.
That's on TikTok.
It's her twerking about the baby being under a Billy light, but I don't know.
It's all just fun of her.
Yeah, it's all just very weird. I saw a video. I saw a TikTok today about it was her hairdresser, which she doesn't get her hair done by Jizz Salons. It was somebody else, and it was like talking about changing her hair and how it was like, oh, a time for a new do or something like that. And it's like, bitch, what the fuck? What? And it was the hairdresser posting, and it wasn't Whitney, so we can't really bash Whitney on it. But it was like, she changes her hair every episode. Like, her cutting her hair isn't something new.
Mm-mm. And we don't care.
No, we don't care.
Mm-mm.
But I was like, oh, but I do care that she doesn't get her hair done by a Jizz salon, because I always wondered, well, not always, but I did wonder if she went to them.
Right, because y'all aren't friends. And if I was Jessie, I would have fucking snipped you, bitch.
Yeah. She would have had a shaved cut. Right? A buzz cut for the next episode.
That would have been so fucking funny.
Yeah. But, I don't know. Oh, do you know? So, okay, when you... I don't even know how to say this. So, have you seen Joshua Jackson in, like, all these videos lately of him?
I feel like I saw clips here and there.
Yeah. Do you not feel like he's turning into, like, this age, like, George Clooney?
Oh, you know what? Perhaps. I could see it. Man, he was cute back then.
He was, but then he was like...
You liked him.
I wasn't really like a Dawson's Creek
Why do I feel like you like Dawson's Creek? Because I know I never
My
watched it.
sister,
Maybe your
did.
sister watched
Nicole
it, so I
was
just assumed you
huge
did.
Dawson's Creek, and
Or
she
maybe
had
I'm just remembering her.
she had all the she had the whole season on fucking cassette. The whole.
Yeah.
So like she was a big Dawson's Creek fan. I never really got into it. I was more like OC, which Adam Brody just came out with, is on a new show on Netflix with Kristen Bell,
and everybody's like,
and
Seth Cohen is the new hot guy.
How
whatever.
I was like, Seth Cohen was his name on the OC.
Yeah.
I had to just double check that. I was like, did I say his real name or did you say his real name?
No, you did. But he's Seth Cohen to me.
Yeah. I was obsessed with the OC. That was like, I had the OC on fucking tape. Or actually, I think at that point it was DVDs. But I don't know. Joshua Jackson showed up at like the fucking Oscars or something. What was it recently?
Yeah, and they played the Dawson's Creek thing.
Yeah.
And he didn't
he
think it was
just looked
real.
totally... rejuvenated? Is that a weird word? Rejuvenated?
Well, he recently got divorced, too.
He did recently get divorced.
Mm-hmm. So he's Clooney in it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Do it, man. I don't know of anything like
he's got
problematic
a new
with
show
him.
too, but I haven't watched it. It's something about he's like a doctor on a cruise ship.
Oh, you know, that keeps coming up on my fucking Hulu commercials.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't care to see it, but...
No, it didn't really interest me either.
No. I mean, what? You know, that's kind of...
Yeah. I'm actually trying to get through Tell Me Lies right now.
Well, I didn't even...
It's one of those stupid shows that they don't give you all the episodes at once. So, like season 2, episode 5, but now I gotta wait till fucking Thursday to watch episode 6, and then the next Thursday, it comes out every Thursday. It's fucking stupid.
That's how TV was the whole time.
But it's not. It wasn't, though, for a long time.
For, like, maybe the last couple of years.
Which was amazing.
It was.
And now they want to, like, go back to this one-a-week release. Like, why? We want to binge it.
I do like to binge it. And that's, like, Only Murders in the Building is one of those. So, like, the new episode comes out tonight, but, like, I can't watch it tonight.
But then I forget about it. I forget I was watching it.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's a really good show, though.
Is it? What's it on?
Hulu.
Oh, you know what? I like Hulu.
Yeah.
But I want to watch some documentaries, too.
Yeah.
The brothers.
I do want to watch that, too, yeah. But Tell Me Lies is a good one. I don't know. Would you have Disney news?
I do. I have some Disney news, and then we'll end with the sadness. So there's going to be some Lightning Lane changes coming to Disney fucking again. Basically, they're upping the prices. And, like, here's the thing. So I was just talking to Eric about this before I left, because he was like, what are you talking about tonight? And I was like, man, I'll tell you when I get back.
I know. Chris will ask me when I get back, and I'm like, actually, I don't know.
He's like, what's the topic? And I was like, Diddy?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Okay, so basically, where do I have these prices at? God damn it, did I delete them? Oh, I probably screenshot them. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so the individual Lightning Lanes, the prices are going to be raised on October 18th, and then they're going to be raised again on October 21st. But, like, by $1 each.
So they're raising it and then raising it again?
Yeah, what are y'all doing?
That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Just raise it to the one fucking price one time.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Or is it like... I don't know what they're doing. So honestly, none of this affects me because I don't pay for this shit. I understand that if it's a once-in-a-lifetime trip for you, it makes sense to pay for it, but I don't. So
Lightning Lane, you can pay for a single individual ride. So, like, if you want to get on the mine train quick, you can pay $14.
Yeah, well, 11 today.
11 today. 12 on the 18th, and then it will be 14 by the 21st.
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
It is. I'm not sure why they're doing the double. Why don't you just make it all one, right? Whatever. But that's
a big difference, though, no?
It is, but that's
like a $3 difference, but...
And depending on how many people you have.
Yeah.
But the thing that I do feel like makes sense with this is that if it's not more expensive, it's going to end up being pointless.
Well, right. I understand that argument. Like, if it's cheap, then everyone's going to buy it.
So it's going to be the same fucking line.
It's the same fucking line.
Right.
So it's got to be...
It's got to be enough that, like, some people won't pay for it.
So that some people won't pay for it. Correct. But I guess I'm just the one. I'm the some people ain't paying for it.
And same, I'm not paying for it either. I would absolutely never pay for it.
But I guess if you're like literally coming over from the fucking UK or whatever,
so many people come from the UK, you know what I mean?
And you're never gonna come again, or you don't know when you'll be back, then you're gonna pay $14 to make sure you get on the fucking ride you want to ride,
and also
without waiting.
You can right. That's the thing is the waiting. Like, if you wait in every line, you can't do everything.
Right.
If you pay for every line, you can do most of it.
Right.
I mean, prioritize your time or whatever. Right. So, I mean, like, I understand it. I personally am never going to pay for any of this.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're paying, what's the fucking ticket price right now?
It depends.
And then you're paying that, and then plus $14 a person just to get on the mine train. So, and to save an hour. You're paying $14 for an hour of your life.
Right. So, what do you make an hour at your job? That's how you decide if it's worth it.
Some people, $14.
Right. So, is it worth it for an hour of work?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's up to you. It's priorities. Again,
right.
These are people's priorities. It's not the option I'm going to take, but I get it. Do you. Do you, boo. And then I had some more Disney stuff. Inside Out 2 is the #1 film premiere on Disney Plus for 2024.
Oh, that's cool.
Lightning Lanes. Oh, so besides the Lightning Lanes going up, there have been rumors of a Universal style Lightning Lane. But then they won't get rid of the other two, so now you're going to have 3 options, and it's going to get even more confusing. And that's going to be more expensive.
What do you mean a Universal Lightning Lane? What do they mean by that?
Like how Universal does it, where you, like, pay the price and then you get to, like, pick a ride and go there, whatever, without your... Like, because, like, with these, it's still timed. It's still, like, a fast pass. Like, you're paying for it, but you still, like, only get to go... Like, they still tell you what time to go.
Oh, okay.
Except for, I think, the individual Lightning Lanes. The whole thing confuses me because I don't do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay, so the Dino Land USA phased closing is to begin before the holiday season. We don't have any set dates, but the Chester and Hester Dino-Rama area, it's like part of Dino Land, and it's like an old style carnival, and literally nobody's ever there doing anything. We stop and like take some pictures in the funny mirrors, but there's like carnival style games and basically like the Dumbo ride with fucking Triceratops.
Right.
So that's going to be gone most likely before the holidays. That's the plan. Construction's going to start after that. It's going to be the dinosaur ride is going to go. And then after construction's going to start this year, hopefully. The new land will open 2027.
Goodness.
And then I had some other from last week that I didn't end up saying because we just talked about Diddy for an hour and a half and Mom Talk. Long. Glittering Greenhouse tour for Living with the Land is going to be during the holidays, so that'll be really cool. They like do like a holiday overlay, and then like they do their behind the scenes tour.
Okay.
Glittering Greenhouses. Harry Styles brand Pleasing is going to do a Fantasia line.
Harry Styles is brand Pleasing is having a pop-up in Disney Springs right now.
Yeah. That's what that's the next part of my next line. So
sorry.
That's okay.
I just saw a TikTok and then people were like, I didn't even know that was going on, and I live in Orlando.
It's going to be a 30-piece collection to debut at 2 pop-up stores, and one is going to be in Disney Springs where the NBA experience was.
Yeah.
That's going to be the first major thing that they're putting in there. I don't know anything about his brand, but I do like Fantasia.
I thought it was nail polishes, to be quite honest.
Maybe
I thought Pleasing was nail polishes, but then they started doing like sweatshirts and say that it's like merch that said Pleasing on it. That was always a rumor too. That Chris Olsen, so weird how things can like connect. The Chris Olsen guy that we were just talking to, there was rumors like
we were talking to him
that he was,
I said we were talking to him. You said that we were talking to.
Oh, I thought you said talking about. I don't know. There were rumors that he was the one that was behind the Pleasing TikTok, because whoever runs the Pleasing TikTok doesn't ever. You don't see them, you know what I mean? And people are trying, Harry Styles, like, stands were trying to figure out, like, who runs that thing, and a lot of people thought it was that Chris Olsen kid.
Is it? Or we don't know?
No one ever knew, I don't know. But there was, like, flooring and, like, things that looked the same from, like, what he would post, right? And then when he started showing up at the Harry Styles concerts and things like that.
And then it was like, oh, maybe it was you?
Maybe it was you. Yeah, but no one ever knew.
But we don't know.
But I remember a minute ago I just said there was like a connection to Harry Styles, and I thought
you did say that.
It was because of the concerts. There was like he held up a daddy sign or something. I don't know. But I forgot about the Pleasing thing until you just said that.
Maybe they're friends.
Maybe they are.
Alright, that's the rest of my Disney. I watched that Child Star. I watched half of it. I have some thoughts.
Child Star on Hulu, right?
Yeah.
Hulu is just in the know right now. They got everything. So Child Star is a documentary on Hulu that was hosted by Demi Lovato where she interviews a bunch of child stars, right?
Yeah, basically it's Demi Lovato going around talking to other child stars, and like some of it was kind of sad. I didn't watch all of it. Honestly, it was a little slow paced.
Yeah.
She said that she didn't know that being a child star would have such a negative impact on her mental health, and sometimes that can look explosive, like having an incident where you punch a backup dancer on an airplane or overdose on heroin.
Oh.
And I said,
I mean, who knew?
That's exactly what I said.
Oh. Those are literally her words?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Sometimes when I watch these shows, people say such crazy things that I literally rewind so I can get the right quotes because,
yeah,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's so like left field.
You know what?
You know, you
sometimes
punch
that
someone,
does look like it.
You know, you punch someone in the back of an airplane or you overdose on heroin.
You know, whatever.
Just you were a child star.
Child star stuff. And I said, why is Keenan wearing sunglasses? Does he think we don't know him? And then I realized he was probably just high.
Yeah.
Does it make him feel better talking about his feelings like this? I mean, that's fair. And then I said, is he just high? He sounds like he might be high. And I'm 99% sure that first episode of that Peacock Olympic show, him and Kevin Hart were high. So sometimes I think Keenan just gets high to do shit. And like, you know what?
Maybe he needs to.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If I was out in Hollywood with you people, I'd probably be getting high before I talk to you too. Like,
right.
that's fair.
Right.
I'd rather be smoking weed than whatever the fuck the rest of them are on.
Rather than doing heroin.
Right. Than
in the back of an airplane.
Okay, and then like Drew Barrymore was there, and then they did like, so we all know that she was like raised by like some real alcoholic nonsense and was like doing bad drugs and things at a very young age. And there was I think it was like a Saturday Night Live clip from when she was a kid, real little, and they were like, oh, do you want some milk? And she was like, I'm a Barrymore, give me a double. And like everyone laughed, and then you could see like they zoomed in on her face, and she did look kind of like sad that she had to say that.
Like, why did you have to make that joke?
Right.
Yeah. I've heard that really good things about Drew Barrymore, I feel like.
Yeah, me too, for sure. Okay, so then the Shirley Temple Act. So there was, so around the 30s, 40s, whatever, they finally passed a law saying that, like, you can't be, like, having child labor, but they made a so maybe that was a little bit earlier, and then in the 50s they introduced the Shirley Temple Act saying that, child actors can work even though regular child labor is abolished, because fuck them kids, they're fine. Christina Ricci's so sweet. I didn't know that her dad was a failed cult leader, but that makes sense. And then she had also made a comment that one of her first movies, maybe her first movie, she did with Cher, and Cher is such a strong woman role model that's why Christina Ricci thinks that like she didn't have such a terrible time of it, because she modeled herself after the way that Cher was. You know what I mean? Like, Cher didn't take shit. And Cher wasn't gonna, like, we watched, like, especially, like, on the Nickelodeon one, so many people were, like, afraid of that Stan Schneider, so, like, they just did what he said, whereas, like, Cher did not tolerate things like that. Like, if Cher's on a movie and you tell her to do something that makes her uncomfortable, she's gonna tell you to go fuck off.
Right.
And so Christina Ricci felt like having Cher as, like, her first, like, really example really helped her to be...
Oh, that's cool.
All right, so that was, I said,
what a nice thing to say about Cher.
Yeah. And then I think that's when I stopped watching. I don't know. I probably got busy and just turned it off, and then I just kind of turned it back on. It was a little slow, honestly.
Yeah.
It wasn't... I'm sure it was, you know, and I don't
know. Were they trying to piggyback off of, like, the success of the band Schneider?
I felt like that. You know, it did.
Yeah.
You're right. It absolutely, that's what it was. I couldn't put my finger on it, but that's what it was. It felt like, oh, you know, exploiting those kids and their problems did so well, let's do ours. You know what I mean? And it was almost like, okay, but, like, we've had tabloid magazines for 30 years. We already know all about Drew Barrymore and Christina Ricci. This is what you got?
Right.
Keenan sitting around high in his sunglasses in a diner?
Right.
It wasn't that interesting. But maybe the rest was, and I just missed it.
You know what would be really interesting? A, like, documentary on how they have fixed the problem.
Yeah, that would be good.
That would be cool.
Good. That would be cool.
Yeah,
that would
instead
be cool.
of, like, instead of just making these people relive their fucking trauma.
Right,
let's talk about how we fixed it.
Let's add some addendums to the Shirley Temple Act.
Yeah.
And maybe, like, get these kids some rights.
Yeah.
Let's get these kids some rights. All right. Where are we at? Do you just want to move on to the sad part before the end?
Yeah, so I think we're going to close out this week paying, respect, I guess, or just making aware. I don't fucking know. We want to talk about what happened with Hurricane Helene because it's fucking terrible. And we don't feel like we could just put this out without actually bringing awareness to it or speaking on it because, I don't know, I'm seeing it all over my TikTok, but those people this isn't just this isn't like a town in Florida got flooded and you can get out on a fucking boat, right? Like, this isn't, these towns are inaccessible.
Yeah, right.
To the outside world.
Fucking like valleys of mountains, and they were like in a bowl that got fucking drowned.
Yes. And roads are gone.
Gone.
Like, towns you can't access. Like, I saw the entire town of Chimney Rock just gone. Gone.
Asheville?
And Asheville, yeah. With no warning. Those people were told that Lake Lure Dam was fine. There was literally Facebook posts by whoever fucking runs the Facebook for the dam saying, like, it might collapse, and then it come back and saying, actually, no, it's fine. And then they came back and said, oh, fuck, no, we're wrong, get the fuck out. You can't just get the fuck out.
If you've ever evacuated, you know evacuating can be very difficult. You have thousands of people leaving in a mass exodus. Evacuation
you can't
is
just
not
get out.
No,
and no one, and it wasn't. I mean, Helene. It's the same thing that happened in New Orleans with Katrina. Yes, it was a hurricane. Yes, it brought a lot of water, but that's not what flooded it. It was the broken dams that caused the fucking
absolutely
flooding.
Right. Absolutely right.
And that water just fucking rushes.
Moving water is the most dangerous thing.
Yes. Like, my heart hurts so much for the people in Western North Carolina. Like, the entire western corridor of North Carolina is shut off from the rest of the world right now.
Yeah. Like,
I don't even know. I did see, obviously, like, the Red Cross to help, right?
So I have a website that Bobby Bones, I don't know if you know the Bobby Bones show. So he had talked about the Red Cross this morning, and then he had a break and he had came back and he gave this other website, nvoad.org. Because the thing is, like you just said, like Jason Aldean and some other people plan on going when they can, but because it's shut off from the outside world, not everyone can
deliver
help.
supplies. Like, people can't fucking get there.
So, like, so, like, the Red Cross is a really good resource in this situation because they do have the means to get there. I will say, in the Red Cross, if you're giving them a little bit of money to help the people, that is absolutely fantastic. The CEO of Red Cross does make a lot of money, so I wouldn't donate a lot to them. And then I did my research after I was listening to Bobby Bones, because I was like, he kept talking Red Cross, but he was kind of saying it like he kept, every time he said Red Cross, he made that, whatever, that little part that, like,
it was like someone walking down there caught my attention.
His little caveat, that's the word, that, you know, the Red Cross is great because they can get to places that we can't when they're shut off. You know what I mean? So, like, he kept saying that, because it's true. So then I looked it up, and, like, the CEO had been making over $800,000 a year up until, like, 2 years ago, and there's no paper trail for the current CEO that I could find.
Perfect.
And then if you Google it, ZipRecruiter ads come up and says that the CEO of the Red Cross makes $80,000 a year. We know that's not fucking true.
I forgot a zero.
Right. Or 5.
Right.
So, no, you're right, 1. But whatever. I have to exaggerate a little bit. That's how I do. Anyway. But, like, in a situation, is kind of their only hope, just because, like you said, they can get there. And, like, we can't. Bobby Bones can't. I think this microphone... What's your website for help?
So, there's the Red Cross, obviously, we were just talking about.
And then this nvoad.org is for North Carolina residents. Or North Carolina. Okay. But it's them.
And then there's also the Cajun Navy. Remember, I'm pretty sure the Cajun Navy came out, like, back when Katrina. Like, I'm pretty sure that's where it started.
Yeah, it's a bunch of, like, Louisiana rednecks. And it was just
a bunch of Louisiana rednecks with fucking airboats and boats that were going and rescuing people in Katrina. And then every hurricane season after that, like, they became, like, a relief fund, which is such a cool... Yeah. Like, they're actually everyday people who have fucking experienced this out there helping. And so you can donate to them at thecajunNavyRelief.com or volunteer, I think, even if you can.
I know a girl that
help.
volunteers with them. She lives near New Orleans, and she's
Yeah.
like photographer. And I sent her money one year when it was that crazy one in Texas that fucked everybody up, and Joel Osteen wouldn't let anybody in his church.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she like went to that. Like she went with the Cajun Navy, and I like sent her money for that.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
You got to, right?
Yeah. So you can actually request help from them too. So if you are in an area that had been devastated, on their website you can request help. I know that
and also before I forget, I want to say, because you said to request help, call FEMA now if you need them. FEMA is like a first come first serve situation, but you need to call them now if you need them. Because once they run out of money, they give you your shit back.
Yeah.
They give me that.
FEMA is an interesting organization as well, but they do help.
Call them, just call them, see
Yeah.
what happens. One time I called them and I was like, yo, my car is flooded, because I hypothetically drove through some floodwaters, and they were like, you know what, and they took my car and they're like, your car is flooded. And then like 4 months later they're like, we ran out of money, here's your car back. And it smelled like fish, and I sold it to Eden. My mom did. So. She knew.
Why would they do that?
They ran out of money.
Yeah.
They had it sitting there, and then by the time they got to it, they were out of money. So that's what I mean. It's first come, first serve. You know what I mean? Call FEMA now.
Right.
If you need FEMA, call them now and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I even saw the DeSantis, governor of Florida, on like the news today doing like a press conference, because Florida did get flooded too, like over in Clearwater and stuff.
Cedar Key's gone.
Cedar Key's gone. Like Clearwater's really fucked up. The Big Bend, like, and that's not even like Clearwater, Tampa area isn't even anywhere near where it came in.
No,
like, that was
they just
all
flood.
storm surge. But even like the Bend where it came in at is pretty fucked up. But even DeSantis was like, listen, we're handling things here. We've got what we need. We've deployed the resources. Go help North Carolina.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, they're in...
I don't always agree with him, but that's a good point.
They're in like a very like uncharted territory too. Like, what happened there?
Right, like it's not okay, but in Florida it's something that like you're aware of. We're all aware of how to react and what to do, and we do have the resources.
We had evacuation orders. They had. We were not part of it. We're on the east coast of Florida, but there were evacuation orders set like prior.
Right.
You know what I mean?
North Carolina didn't get that.
No.
Right. No, you're right.
I'm so afraid
DeSantis, whoever.
I'm so afraid for the death count number, and we'll never.
No, you'll never really know.
We'll never really know. Like, I mean, Christopher, my husband, does disaster cleanup. Like, he goes on a lot of storms.
Oh, yeah, he's leaving
right after. No, he's trying not to actually go, but I don't know. He's saying he's not going this year, but.
Well, he might be able to just send people in his place at this point.
But he has said, like, I mean, this is morbid, but like, when you enter these areas after disasters, after hurricanes like Michael and stuff, like bad ones, the smell of death is so imminent.
I bet.
Like,
that's terrifying.
And that they find people, like, they hear of it. Like, I don't think he ever has, but like, people he knows
have found people.
Like, that's not included in that count. You get 2 days.
All right. Well, I heard the last
after, you know.
I heard the last count was there was like 100 and something dead, but like over 1,000 missing.
Yeah.
So,
and that number's, I mean,
right, and you don't know if that 1,000 number is even everything.
Mountain towns are a little bit like less, a little bit more dense. Is that the word I'm looking for? Where like maybe not dense, maybe
less populated.
Yeah, dense would be like
more populated,
right? So I'm thinking like
sparse,
more sparse. Yeah, like spread out. Like you're not like. It's not like a town, a city, you know what I mean? Where like when a whole city's gone, you're talking hundreds of thousands of people.
But still
1,000 lives lost is, if it got to that, would be fucking. I don't even know if there's been a natural disaster that in recent times.
I don't know about in recent times. Honestly, probably not, because that's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
I mean, and hopefully they're found safe on top of a mountain somewhere.
I know. I'm very scared for the people there, like, and what they went through, and like
how long is it going to be to rebuild? Like you said, you can't even get in and out right now.
I mean, I watched a girl this morning, fucking TikTok, but that's where I see it all. She finally was able to make it to check on her home, and she had like 24 acres and like this huge, gorgeous like homestead, and it's all gone. And she says half the land is gone. Like, I can't comprehend how that happens, to be quite honest.
It's washed out.
But like, she says that like her 24 acres is now 12 acres and unlivable. They'll never be able to rebuild on their land. The entire like foundation change, or the terrain changed.
I mean, that much water rushing that fast, I believe it. That's the thing. People don't understand how dangerous water is. Rushing water especially. You know what I mean? Like, that shit comes at you. That's it can change the land. That's absolutely possible.
Yeah.
You're right, it's kind of hard to like comprehend, but like I know that it's possible.
Right.
That's terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah. So I don't know. Well, those are a few that we know for sure to help.
I got one more in Florida. This is a social media account on Instagram. I don't know where else she is. Her name is Dr. Beach Gem, Gem. She is a pediatrician at a hospital somewhere in St. Pete. And so right now on her page, she's just kind of like throwing up like tips and like telling you what you should do if you're flooded, and like kind of explaining like her process for like deciding like what's contaminated and what's not, because floodwater is really gross. It's all sewage. Mm-hmm. And she is working on some kind of relief aid. So I'll share some of her posts in our story so that you can see her stuff. And she is not looking for relief for herself and her family. She's looking to help her community and beyond. She's also been talking about like North Carolina and stuff. Yeah. And just like Bobby Bones had said this too, and just like be careful donating if you don't go the Red Cross or a big route. Like if you just donate to some influencer that's saying that they're helping, some of them are unfortunately not all people are good, and there's going to be some scammers that are going to be taking advantage. So like we said, the Cajun Navy, the Red Cross, this other website that I said 100 times, but I'm going to say it one more time just in case, because it is North Carolina and we do feel like that's what's most important now. NVOAD.org. I'm going to like, so it would light up again because it lit up earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just, I guess our thoughts are with North Carolina.
Yeah.
And if you can help them. Florida will be all right. We'll figure it out. It's Florida. Yeah. Florida's fine.
And hopefully, let's do like a hurricane dance away.
Okay.
For that one that is like, they're talking about that's going to fucking form again this week in the exact same spot Aline formed. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
So I saw that Mike,
Mike's other page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right, I'm talking like we're friends, because y'all know, if you follow storms, you know who I mean when I say I was watching Mike, if we're talking about storms. So Mike was worried about it this morning. Yeah. And he said that it's looking like around like the afternoon, he said that it was looking like less chance of development, but it's definitely still something to watch out for. But he is hoping that it's not going to develop. Yeah. Again, Mike's not a meteorologist, he's a storm chaser, but honestly, in my opinion, that makes him better.
I mean, he's never been wrong.
He's never wrong, and people don't want to listen to him.
And what's crazy is even Mike was talking about how
he kept talking about how bad this was going to be for other states.
Helene was going to be.
And for other states. And he said multiple times, he was like, Florida's going to get it. He's like, but Florida's not going to be the problem. It's going to be when it goes past Florida. And then people were like, oh, Mike, you're fear-mongering. No, the fuck he's not. Because he doesn't fear-monger.
He doesn't fear-monger. So when Mike tells you it's going to be bad, it's going to be bad.
Right. And he literally said, like you're saying, he was like, Florida's going to get hit pretty bad, but that's not going to be the problem.
Right.
Exactly what is the problem is what he doesn't know dams are going to burst, but like he knew that it was going to be bad for them.
Because it was still a Cat 2 in Georgia, and Georgia doesn't get hit by Cat 2s.
Right.
Georgia gets hit by Cat 1s and tropical storms. Florida gets hit by hurricanes all the time. So like we rebuild and we rebuild stronger. These are like towns that this happened in have never been hit by a hurricane, so they've never had to rebuild. They don't have hurricane building standards. Yeah.
Right. We have hurricane codes here.
Yeah. Like we can't even build like fucking frame houses. You go up there, it's all fucking frame.
You have to have like certain hurricane doors and certain hurricane windows, and it's like, and like all these new things come out after have bad storms. Like, so like after Hurricane Andrew, there was new, you know what I mean? After the year that we got fucking triple doubled, we have new hurricane codes every time something crazy happens here. So we're at the point, right, where we're built up right.
Trees that have, like, you know what I mean? Like trees have already fallen from hurricanes, and like, you know, like it's just, Florida's been hit, and the coasts, you know, the east coast of the United States and stuff, these places get hit. So, like, it's not that we know what we're doing or anything like that. It's more so that, like, the grounds have already been.
Right. And like you said, we have the resources here because
Right.
we were expecting it. So, like, we
But
were
when you
told.
go to a town that's never been hit by a cat, too, there are a ton of fucking trees that are going to fall. There are you know what I mean?
Your dam's going to burst.
Yeah, your fucking dam's going to burst. So, I don't know. Hopefully this one dissipates and it doesn't become something. I did hear that, like, there's a bit of hope that because Helene was just there, she kind of wrestled up, like, the cold water.
Mm-hmm, that's what Mike was saying.
And so it's not, the Gulf isn't as warm right now as it was. So that will help. But North Carolina cannot take any more fucking rain.
No. There's dry dams going for them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're the Indian, not the opposite of the rain dance, please.
Right. On that note, do we have anything else?
I don't think so. I think we've done our chat for the week.
All right.
Hope you enjoyed us.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Peace out.
Peace out. K-Town down.